For the queen, sisters manifesting their dreams. Get your cream by any means and beam with self-esteem. Beauty supreme and booty walk so mean. The way you fit in them jeans, you eat your cornbread and greens. Dance or a doctor, red wine or vodka. Redesign your spot and redefine your mantra. Retwist your locks and realign your chakras. Doing your squats and getting closer to God, huh? Brunching with your squad or taking a girl's trip. Adjust your crown, you God's gift to the world, sis. Celestial body, drink your water. Meditate, sun-kissed goddess, heavenly order. Levitate, tribe of Ashanti, black girl magic, melanin popping, whether you ratchet or lavish, whether you bougie or savage, you a gift and a treasure. You got to love a black girl getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, dog. When God made you, boo, you know he showed out. Mahogany enchantress, blessings overflow now. Picture of success, seductive silhouettes on a spiritual quest. Manifest and be blessed. Mother, sister, auntie, tribe of Ashanti. Rocking your locks, I got a close crop blondie. The curse and the gift, uplift, apply pressure. Nothing like a black girl getting a shift together. Nothing like a black girl getting a shift together. Nothing like a black girl getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together.
Hello and welcome to Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. This is a podcast where we focus on Black mental matters. I had to put that in for our special guest tonight, but definitely focusing on our community. My name is Ursula and I'm your podcast host, and I promise to deliver relevant topics specific to our community. So you see, we're on a different night tonight. Had to switch it up a little, but continue to stay tuned. We're coming to the end of season 2. So let me know you're in here. Say hello. If it's a replay, make sure type replay and just come in and let me know where you're tuning in from. We're going to get right into the meat of this show. This is a good one tonight. I am going to bring my guest out of the waiting room. Coming to get you, Vince. Vince.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Ursula. Yeah.
So, if this man's voice sounds familiar, if you live in Atlanta or been on this earth, you listen, I'm sure you've heard his voice before. This is the voice, the man behind the voice, which is Vince the Voice Bailey. Vince, do you want to tell people what you do so people know who I'm talking to?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's great. I love that theme song. Is that your own? Is that your song?
Yes, it is.
Girl, that's the jam. I was over here. I was like, hey, let's just keep that going for a minute.
Yes, the lyricist is Tunde Day here in Atlanta. He's amazing.
Good job, Tunde. Yeah, good job. I can appreciate music, old DJ. You know, I've been around media stuff for longer than I want to say. And I'm a media producer, voice talent, voiceover artist, and a guy that just likes to have fun, MC, host. And it has been a great journey using media like yourself, you know, to empower, inform, educate, entertain, help people. Mainly is what it's all about. Yeah.
So how did you start becoming in the entertainment industry?
You know, it's funny. I talk about it that I just like to read as a kid. I was just a kid that loved to read. And then my best friend at the time we were kids, Duke, moved across the street, and we would imitate, Sesame Street and record everything and just be silly all the time. And that led to being a little MC for a talent show, and found out I really loved being on the microphone and volunteering. I'm from Gary, Indiana, volunteered for the Trade Winds radio reading service for the blind. I heard about that. I went to college for 2 weeks, and the man came in and said, there's an opportunity to go down to the radio station and read for the blind. I went down there and never went back to school. And
really?
Yeah. And from there, got into public access television, loved that, lived there. And it's taken me, to some good jobs on the radio, television, for government, Comcast cable, HBCU. And then I went out on my own in 1996. And it's been a great journey all the way. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did some good work. I love that piece you did on the Black community in Gwinnett County.
Oh, yeah. I provided the voice for that. And so voiceover is a big part of my life now. I teach voiceover at Clayton State as well as privately. So if you want to be talking like me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, holla at your boy.
Oh, my God. Okay, so question, how did you come, for everybody, just to let you know, he has many faces, and he also is the face of Black Mental Matters. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you all a little background, how Vince and I met through a mutual friend, Lynn and Bobby of Eco Sneakers. And I called Lynn up. I'm like, hey, who is this guy? I like his voice. And, I just started this podcast, and we had a conversation. And then that conversation came out, the Black Mental Matters. So can you tell everybody about Black Mental Matters?
Yes, Black Mental Matters is a podcast. It's a program that we produce to try to eradicate the stigma as it relates to mental health in the Black community. My partner, Makiba Reed Johnson, she's a great friend. And it's funny, we met, I announced boxing matches. Makiba was a boxer, one of the lady boxers, and became a champion. She loved that I pumped her in that. She became a champion, grown woman.
Really?
And yeah. And fast forward a couple years later, and I learned that Makiba was her real job, because I knew her just from boxing, or her real career was as a mental health professional, public health. She worked at a women's HBCU here in Atlanta for a long time. And I don't know, I think I just reached out to her one night. I've been thinking about this mental health podcast for a long time, and wanting to do something in that world. And I reached out to her, and she came back to me like, yes, Vince, yes, just enthusiastically. And the rest is history. We're up to episode 65. We're coming out of COVID. That's the next episode, which actually just premiered here right now at 8:00 on Castropolis Network. And then you can get it anywhere, Apple, all the places. Tell Siri or Alexa. But in our community, mental health is just not talked about. It's not accessed. There are a lot of disparities there. And so it was something that I really wanted to do, and I'm very thankful. Mm-hmm.
Why is there such a stigma, you think, in our community?
Black folks, we ain't talking about that. You don't tell, you don't talk about, our business. We have uncle up in the attic. Don't let nobody know he up in the attic, so when you go to feed him. It's just one of those things. We don't look at that. People all just man up. What's wrong with you? Oh, man, I'm not feeling happy, right now. People, well, what's wrong with you? Well, there's something going on. There's chemical things going on in people's bodies. We just, it's something that's got to change. Because the statistics, I brought notes because I'm not the expert. And so we like our program, I'm the average, I'm asking questions, and I try to in all honesty, keep it kind of light because it can be heavy. You know, we're talking about suicide. We're talking about depression. We're talking about alcoholism. We're talking about some serious stuff. And so to try to bring, you know, so that we can digest it and it can be, you know, something that we can talk about. Statistics, 1 in 5 adults in the United States experience mental health illness some way every year. 1 in 25 experience a serious mental health illness in a given year that limits their major life activities. So all of a sudden, you know, and these are the people we work with, we play with. You don't see her at the park anymore. She's not coming to the job. You know, it's happening. A lot of it goes on a whole lot more than we know. And like I say, I'm not the expert, but I'm gonna give you what I got, because if I can come through it, you know, I mean, I had my challenges, my family, just to let you know. I mean, the impetus for this, my dad had committed suicide when I was 17, and then I had an older brother who did the same. And of course, it, you know, just travesty, you know, there's no describing either. But what I was able to do is to use it as a strength. I say their lives were not in vain. And so you never know what people are going through. I've had just some great experiences as a result of just recognizing that, hey, this is something that's for me to spread to the world. And here I am on Black Girls Get What Is a Shift Together. Yeah, let's get our shift together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So when that horrible experience happened, was there a lot of secrecy in your family? Because you know how we can get.
Yeah. Well, I was the youngest. And still, you know, 17 years old at that time. So getting ready to graduate from high school. We just didn't talk about it. It wasn't so much, I think, secrecy as we just didn't talk about it. And I mean, even to this, you know, people, it's not a discussion, but I mean, now it's all about the memories. I mean, my dad was a hardworking man. My brother was super smart, and you know, the memories that we have. But at the time, yeah, it was quite a shock. It took a while, and it took me, you know, myself through changes. You know, more drinking, more all that kind of stuff. It happens. It's a hard thing. You know, how do you cope with the loss like that? And luckily, I have a loving family, and we all got through it together really well.
Wow. So you said you were 17. That's very young. I mean, the brain is still maturing. So was your father, like, were you all around, like, after it happened? Like, how did it, after it happened, how did you all come together as a family to get through it?
Well, what can I say? We're just a family, you know, really from New Orleans, party, you know, and all those kinds of things. And so we were together a lot anyway. It's different. My generation now, like my kids, is not like how I grew up. We grew up in our aunts and uncles' houses. You know, that's how it was. That's where you were all the time. We were with cousins and things like that all the time. So, you know, we're surrounded with love and that kind of thing. And everyone was striving, you know, for success. And it's been a good lineage, you know, that's been laid down. But these things that happen, again, everything happens, you know, for whatever reason that is. And again, that's why you don't know what people are going through. People look at me, you know, oh, you do so many things. You're announcing, you know, be in Miami, you're doing this, that, and the other, but people don't know what's going on, you know, up here for folks, you know. It can be a challenge.
Exactly. It really can. And I always tell people, when you see a smile on anyone, it doesn't mean that it's always right here. Sometimes that's just that mask, you know, just to get through.
You know, another, I think my folks came from New Orleans. One of the things that really also pushed me, you know, wanting to do something was when Katrina happened there in New Orleans, and so many people were affected, and family members were affected, and, you know, so many people, and you saw those scenes of kids standing on the bridge, you know, the water up there talking about help us, save us, or sitting on top of the houses or in the Superdome and places like that. And the thought that came to me was, who's going to help them kids? Them kids are going to need some counseling after this. You know, they're going to need somebody to help them navigate through this. And nobody came. And I think that you will find as time goes on that there's a lot of issues that were unresolved there. Nobody helped us. Why are we going to help somebody? You know, kind of thing. I mean, all those experiences add up to who you are.
Wow, that's true. I just did a episode 2 weeks ago, and it was about pandemic trauma. So we're in it right now, but who's to say what's going to happen later on when hopefully this will end soon, but we're in the mix of it now. Like, we are literally in the bowl of it. And when it calms down, that's going to be interesting.
Well, already though, it's having an effect on the young people. You know, who've missed out on their school this year, and you know the interactions with others. That's how young people develop. You know, you have that social network, and that's gone. Some will suffer just from being able to have human contact because they've been doing this all this time. You know, this is a very impressionable time. They've been on a computer net, you know, so when they get back in person with one another, but the number of teen and youth suicides is on a high increase right now as well, particularly Black youth and particularly Black females. The numbers show. As of 2018, it was the second leading cause of death in Black children aged 10 to 14, and the third leading cause of death in Black adolescents aged 15 to 19.
Really?
Yes. So, you know, things like this pandemic do nothing but exacerbate the situation, and, you know, just gets it even more. It's a tough time. People, let's say, are this weekend we did several podcasts regarding COVID and all that, but this was a hard time for a lot of people. We don't realize they've been in the house. They've, you know, it's crazy. If you have to go anywhere, get on the highway, people are flying like they just been let out of cage, because they literally have. You know, it's been just an experience that we will be talking about and reading about and researching for a long time. Right.
So I wonder, based on your experience, in retrospect, were there some signs that you saw?
Well, for my brother actually did have he needed to take medication, and you know, we all have those. You know, when they need to take the medication, they need to take the medication. He didn't like taking. He didn't want to take his medication, and there are signs that are pretty common for people and for our viewers to take a look and be aware. Warning signs: they just become anxious, just all of a sudden just being anxious, being more irritable, you know, snapping at you. And think about it again, during this pandemic, we've been in the house, and in some instances, a whole lot of folks in the house all together who ain't used to being together. So it can do some triggers, being more confrontational, being quiet, you know, went from being just outgoing, flamboyant person to now just being very quiet and in their room, shutting down, having mood swings, acting recklessly, sleeping too much or too little, not wanting to be around other people, avoiding contact with friends and family, having different problems with work or studies, saying negative things about themselves. And when that takes place, a lot of times we don't know what to do. You know, it's just, man, I don't know what to do with him. He's changing, and you've got to get them to talk to them, and then listen, let them talk, you know, whatever it is that they're going through out. Let them know you care about them and that they're not alone. one of the things you talk about, why Black folks, why we don't deal with mental health or speak about it, we think we the only ones. We the only family that's got something going on like this. Well, we know that's not the case. You can go up and down a block, and there's just numbers of situations where people needed help. Are homeless out here. You see them. A lot of that is mental health issues. They had some assistance. They will be okay. But let them know that you care about them. Talk to them, empathize with them, say some things like, hey, I can imagine this is painful for you. I'm here for you. I'm with you. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Don't be non-judgmental. Man, you crazy. That kind of stuff.
Man up.
Man up. Man up. Shoot, this is hard out here, man. You just got to, stretch it out and all that. No, sometimes it needs more than that. Repeat their words back to them. That's an exercise they talk about a lot, so that they can actually hear what and they know that you're listening. When you repeat someone's words back, they know that you're listening, and repeating the information, make sure that you also understand what they're saying properly.
That is a good tip right there. I like that.
You like that one? Okay.
I like that.
Ask them about their reasons for living and dying, and then listen to their answers. Ask if they've been feeling like this for a while. Have you felt like this before? Tell them, hey, things change. They're not going to be like this forever. Because jobs right now, people lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
People scared to go. You go to the store, you on the edge. Would you put your mask on, please? And all those kinds of things. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now that if we aren't aware and practice self-care and things like that, it's quite easy to fall into a hole, really, literally. Mm-hmm.
But what will you do if they don't want to have that conversation?
When if someone is seriously talking about killing themselves or something, you got to get help immediately. Ain't no, hey, I'm gonna call you tomorrow kind of thing. No, you call 911. There are resources. We can talk about that a little later. The suicide prevention line, tech crisis text line, things like that. People they can talk to. There's a young brother and sister, for those of you that do visit Black Mental Matters, they developed a Not Okay app, and it is just a wonderful thing, and went national. Two young Charlie and Hannah Lucas, and basically what it is an app on your phone that identifies 5 of your friends, and you hit the app, and that lets them know that you are not okay, and they need to holler at you.
Really? Wait, what's the name of that app again?
Not Okay app. Not Okay. The young lady, Hannah, she was having suicidal thoughts. Her brother, was watching her, and together they turned that lemon into lemonade, developed this app, and it has helped a lot of people. Oh,
wow. I'm going to put that in the show notes. That's amazing.
Yeah, please do.
Oh,
mm-hmm. Wow. So, again, if someone around you is talking like that, talk to them first and get them to open up. Sometimes that's all it takes. But when, they're seriously talking about, things like that, you see maybe they're getting more weapons, guns, or start giving their stuff away, for what you like, wait a minute now, that's your favorite car, or that's your favorite shirt. Why are you giving all your stuff? It looks like they're really thinking about doing something. No, you call 911, you get them some help, some professional help as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because living with that regret, that's a whole nother monster. Someone I know, her son was doing that. He was 16 and he
attempting?
was, excuse me?
Attempting? You said doing that.
Doing that, meaning he was giving away his items.
Okay.
And he was very, secluded, but within 48 hours of him taking his own life, he was very loving. He was total opposite. And the person I know, she was wondering why he didn't come down for breakfast, and she went in the bedroom and found him. So now, in retrospect, she was thinking, why didn't I call the police? Why didn't I call? Why? But she's never experienced that before. But that's why I'm glad you're on, so people can hear, like, there are signs, and not to take it so light, because it's a real thing. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that about the young man. And yeah, it is real and affecting lots of families. And I guess, for me, I think, again, having the kind of the work ethic, that I got from my father. I mean, he was a heck of a man as far as work and taking care and providing and those types of things. Putting that energy into helping others. Yeah, it hurts. It's sad. And there are times, when you by yourself or something, not nearly as often as it, was. I can remember being in a Walmart one time, and what's that song from Fast and the Furious? When the Paul Walker died, it's been a long, and that song started playing. I just started bawling like a baby right there in the middle of the store. You know what I'm saying? And it comes like that, but you got to let that out. You got to let it out. Felt a lot better after it was all said and done.
Can you repeat that one more time? Let it out.
You got to let it out. Otherwise, it's just going to fester. That's part of, Black Mental Matters. Also, while we do talk about things like this, we also talk about how you just process life in general. Dealing with a boss that's crazy. Again, it was coming out of COVID. We've talked about an entrepreneurial type mind, all types of things like that. Is how you deal with situations. Don't let it take you. You were given a gift to be on this earth and for a purpose. I'm just very thankful to the Lord that I was able to find my passion, and early on. So I'm able to channel all this energy, whatever energy that is, into something that hopefully will help others. That's why we were put down here on this earth.
I love what you said about the purpose. I believe we all have a purpose. It's just cleaning up all that, the trauma or trials, tribulations, but it's in there. It's within everyone.
Yes.
And I believe. Excuse me.
No, I just wanted to, we were talking about, when you're talking to them, some of the things that you don't do, because that's where we mess up. And there's some things, and if you will allow me, just try and find an easy solution. Oh, girl, you'll find another job, or, oh, you'll get another man, or you'll get another woman, man. Don't worry about it. I know that was your best friend, whatever. No. Let them grieve through that, whatever that is. You should just cheer up, as we say, pull yourself together, man up, snap out of it. What's wrong with you? That's not going to work. Don't try to change the subject. How we can be sometimes. Girl, I'm trying to get my roll on, and you up here talking about this here. You just don't know. That could be the last time y'all get together, and all you have to do is listen a little bit. They wanted to talk about that. They wanted to share that information. Don't tell them that they don't have no reason to feel like that, or that they shouldn't feel like that. You should just be grateful, girl, that you got, dude. You should be. I put clothes on your back. That don't work. You should be no, or that you just being silly, man. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. You tripping. No,
right.
Those are unlikely to be helpful to the hilt. Don't do it. It'll make somebody feel rejected, unheard, alone. It just makes it worse. It just makes it worse. Guilty, criticized, analyzed, then they go deeper into a shell. No, we need to talk, listen, and really, help our fellow folks through their challenges. We all have them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's important on letting them process it. Instead of, not only process it, but process it in a productive way. Because you can process it by drinking it away, sexing it away, shopping it away, but it's still just ignoring the issues that are going on. Be productive with it. And
I also, talking about celebrating, and the memories or something that'll come up on social media, but I can recall a situation where So I worked with Job Corps workforce for quite a while, did videos for Job Corps centers, and one in South Carolina. Did some work there and became friendly with the director and the kids and everything. And what happened over the summer, one of the youth leaders, a very popular young man on campus, he died by suicide. And one was just torn apart. And the director reached out to me. And so I was able to go up there, and we had a rally. That was the idea. We're going to have a pep rally. It's been some years now. We're going to have a pep rally. And I can't tell you, but I will, the pride I had in that, I had on my brother and I are about the same size, and he had some fine tailored clothes. So I had on his suit, and I was there with the kids, and we, like really shouted to the skies, the kid's name. And we just had a big kind of party. And I think that helped out a lot. And so when, people grieve again, I think, grieving is good, but also celebrate their lives. Yeah. And that will help you, get through it. It will help you get through it. You can't just always, why didn't I do this and why did not do that? That's not going to help.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question. Like, how does someone grieve in a healthy way? Mm-hmm. But that is, any other tips?
There's a site that is on, social media again is something else, but there's a site and there are other support groups out there that you can get in, but there's one called Grief and grief.com. And this gentleman is just a community of people, who have had losses, and they give tributes, and it makes you feel good. And then you get your focus off of yourself, and you're trying to comfort and console others. So, groups like that, yes, that can help, support groups when you're going through, because you don't want to bear the whole thing alone. You're not alone. We're all in this together.
Right. And, we are known for putting all the burdens on our own back and not asking for help. Mm-hmm. And everyone, it's okay. It is so okay to ask for help, especially in the time like this, when you're grieving after a loss of a loved one. Yeah. And why go through it alone if you do have family, friends, or resources?
And, men especially, we got to be macho, and, we can't show any sign of weakness. And so that really becomes, saddled with an unhealthy misconception of what it is to be strong. There's got to be all this. And as a result, then you're thinking about, this is how the cycle kind of goes. Then you're starting to think about how other people see you, because you're feeling like you're not strong and handling up things, and how other people, and then it just becomes a big cloud, and that cycle, really gets to rolling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. While you're talking, all I see is someone standing on the top of a hill with a little small snowball, and that snowball just goes.
Yeah.
And the momentum goes fast all the way down, and you have this huge glacier at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, it can be. So by doing the podcast, and there are others out there, I mean, I think that, we got to have this dialogue. We want to encourage young people to get into the mental health field. It can be quite lucrative. Because one of the problems is the barriers. There's not a whole lot of therapists that look like me out there, So if you're going to be talking to someone about your issues, your problems, processing this stuff, you want to talk to somebody who looks and understands you, has some of the same culture, things in their life like you. So there is a real deficit of people of color in this field. We want to do that to increase that. Another thing that I would love to one day be able to say we made it happen. When you hear about these like school shootings and things like that happen around the country, if it's in an affluent white community, they flooded in with a rapid response team, and they talk to those kids and help them, work their way through it and everything. But our kids, and they're not just seeing it, at the school, they're seeing it in the hood.
Exactly.
PTSD is real. And we probably, if there was a machine that you can go to that just say, oh yeah, he got it, she got it, boy, we see it a lot. We see it a lot, the things that we have experienced. And so,
just regular everyday lifestyle.
Yeah.
And boy, I remember as a child, I'll never forget, now that we're talking about this, just popped in my head. I was in the 5th grade, and one of my classmates stole his parents' car, and he drove into a brick wall on purpose. You think any counselors came in?
No. And that's good friend.
Yeah, yes. And here I am at 10 years old. So at what point can a 10-year-old dissect what just happened? Think about it. I've only been on the earth for 10 years.
Yeah.
I have sneakers older than I was then. You get it?
Yeah. It's and it'll really, maybe next time if we do this again, Makiba could be here because we talk about a lot of stuff. And one of the statements that she made that really stuck home with me as it relates to the Black woman, and that is that those things, they just build up. So a comparison be like if there was a deer that was running in the jungle, right? And a tiger comes chasing after the deer, and the deer runs, and the deer gets away and gets to the water pond and has a drink, and whew, cool, I'm good. For humans, when that danger and stuff comes upon us, it don't go away.
That's right.
And it keeps that stress each time. When we even think about it, it takes us. And so as a result, there was a study that showed that African-American women physically are like 10 years older than what they should be because of the culmination of those types of traumas throughout life. And if you could imagine our ancestors and what they all went through. So it's we got some work to do. But on the other side is, despite all that, here we are getting our shift together, podcast, I'm going, I got a ballroom competition this weekend, it's going, God is great. However, for those of us that struggle, we need to put some attention, put some resources, some money. I'm hopeful with this Biden administration that there's going to be some serious, there's going to be some serious money put into public health, mental health, and I think a change is going to come.
I pray so. I get newsletters from NAMI.
I do too.
And do you? Aren't they amazing?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you saw some of the emails they have about signing that bill that had come out. And if I could have signed that bill 18 million times, I would have. Yeah. Now there's some great organizations out there. Yeah, like NAMI, that's National Alliance on Mental Illness. And there's a big branch here in the Atlanta area out DeKalb. They do a lot of work, and they work with the court system. I've been blessed to do some work with those folks for a period of time, and so there's groups out here that are really trying to make a difference. And so if this is something that intrigues any or interests any of your audience, please just reach out and see what we can do. It's we in this thing together. Right. Yeah, I agree. There's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
And listeners, I put Vince's website in the show notes. So once we get off, I challenge you to go on his website and click under the resources button. When I say that page is long and wide with resources, so there's really no excuse. It's just how much you want to push yourself to get some help. And getting help is okay. or assistance, whatever word is more palatable. I don't know, but there's a lot of resources, and I really thank you for having that on your website.
Yeah, big shout out.
That. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was literally an abundance of it.
And we have a great partnership. Actually, I mentioned Makiba, but then also Carol Johnson, or Carol Smith now, who is webmaster and just a guru. And she does a lot helping therapists with therapistcmo.com, helping them market themselves. So we're all on this mission together to expose and spread the word that it's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to get help. It's okay to cry. It's okay that you're not alone. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It really is. I would love to meet Makiba. I listened to a few of your podcasts. You all have a very good rapport. And it's easy, and I challenge everybody again, listen to some of his podcasts. That link is in the show notes as well. And you don't have to go it alone whatsoever.
And so, like I said, and this is kind of how our program goes. We talk about it again. Makiba, she is a wealth of knowledge and has the numbers and the credentials and all those things. And then my goal is to get, pull it out, just to pull it out to and make it plain. See, that's a lot of times what we have to do too for our community in particular. We have to make it plain. Because it can be a little complicated, or it can be counterintuitive. Well, why would I do that? I should be doing.
You think it's complicated? In what kind of way?
No, I mean it can be. Just like I say, if you're talking to someone who's talking about they're depressed, what's our first thing that's gonna come out? Girl, you ain't. What we gonna say? Girl, you ain't depressed. You need to just go ahead. Let me pull you up some rum. Put on some Bruno Mars. I don't know, whatever, we say the wrong stuff, when it's, wait a minute, that's the beginnings, that's the signs right there.
Yeah.
Let's really take a look at this. And again, how we process that. Well, sometimes, if it's that job that's giving you the blues, if it's that man, that woman that's giving you the blues, sometimes you need to break yourself away from that. But that's a process. That's a process. So,
and it's okay for women to take off that superwoman cape.
That's right.
That's the death of us.
That's right. That's right.
And you went back to talking about how Makiba said how Black women age quicker.
Yeah.
You take that cape off.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, my hat is off to, we hear about the strong Black woman and, have to deal with the family. I mean, we kind of get deep with it sometimes too, looking at history and slavery. I mean, that stuff is real. It's in our DNA. I mean, this is where we come from. Folks can say what they want, but history, when you talk to a Caucasian, they'll say, okay, well, a white person, my granddaddy had, this, that, and the other. And with my great granddaddy, all he had was this, that. And we got to say, well, my great granddaddy was out in the field. He was a piece of property. So for us to even, we have accomplished a lot.
We have.
And much to be proud of.
Absolutely. My guest last week, Linton Hester, we were talking about epigenetics. I mean, he went way back.
I can't even say that. Epigenetics, what is that?
But he was talking about how trauma is ingrained in our DNA. But at what point do we become that generation where we say, you know what, that trauma stops with this generation?
Well, I don't think it can, though. I mean, Jesus Christ was nailed on the cross, and we're still talking about that today. You know what I'm saying? How many generations is that? How are we going to get away with that? I love historical stuff. I watch some of these shows, and then, you got to open up your encyclopedia, look and see there's a reason why things are, the way they are. Literally. I can go off on all kinds of tangents. When you talk about the kings and queens, they're all cousins. They're all first cousins. It was a plan, So things happen for a reason. They don't just happenstance.
Yeah, facts, facts. So, question, because I promised I would keep you at an hour, and we'll kind of start wrapping it up a little, but I would definitely love to continue this and definitely have Makiba on. I call you all the dynamic duo after listening to Katrina.
Yeah, she'll be less laid back than me, Again, she, we both are very passionate about this, and there's a whole community that needs to hear and see us. I know that just the fact, that's the most powerful thing I think about President Obama, just the fact that you saw this man who was president, or see someone who's willing to talk about mental health, will help folks open up about it. Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling quite hopeful and confident that we're going to turn a curve.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep doing what we're doing and gathering the soldiers. I feel quite confident. It gets easier. There was a point where I couldn't even say the word therapy. Not even in my own calendar. I would put appointment and I would put T. But now, I have a podcast, and it feels great to let people know that we look like each other. It's okay. It is okay.
Oh, yeah. It took a long time for me to, be able to acknowledge, what happened with my dad, or what happened with my brother, and to be able to, like I say, process it, to use it as a strength. In life, everything that happens, good, bad, neutral, it all adds up to you. And then it's like, what are you going to do with that? Did you learn from that experience, or did you, grow from that experience? All of them are very valuable experiences. And so being able to, discuss it with you and have a podcast, 65 episodes where we're, talking about these subject matter has been, it's therapy. It's therapy, for myself. I tell Makiba, I get a free therapy session every podcast that we do. That it's becoming more acceptable, and we're going to make sure that folks know that we're out here, and that there is a lot of help for those that need it.
I salute you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. If you can pick a number between 1 and 3.
Am I going to win a brand new car?
If you want one.
Wow, that would no.
That's what we do on this podcast.
Between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
1.
Okay, great. I have 7 questions to ask you.
What? I'm in 3.
Okay. Question. Front of the camera or behind the camera?
Both.
You have to choose one.
As I'm older, in front.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. What lights your fire the most? Okay. Because you have many faces of Vince the voice. Is it Vince the MC, Vince the announcer, or Vince the talent? You have to choose one.
The MC. I like the live events. I've done Trumpet Awards and Stellar Awards and Black Music Honors and, award shows. And I mentioned that because a couple of years ago, the Black Music Honors was at Cobb Galleria. So, you do all that ahead of time. And then I was able to be in the room, ladies and gentlemen, naughty by nature. I'm listening to it and going, hey, that's me, right? And and that's not really live, but live announcing, whether it's basketball, the WNBA for 12 years, boxing, arena football, professional ballroom dance, and just making the party happen. And I'm not a sports fan at all. I don't watch sports at all. But the fact of being in a room and making people excited, that's what gets me going.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your highest octave?
My highest octave.
Because your voice is so deep.
Yeah. I don't think I have that. I don't do the Philip Baileys. I let my wife sing Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't reasons.
Did you come out the womb with a deep voice like that?
No, my dad had a really deep voice, so I give all thanks to him and God. It was a gift that keeps on giving.
I love it. Okay, so you mentioned before that you also have done the boxing, being an announcer for boxing. Have you just ever seen someone just get knocked out and you just want to, you have the mic in your hand and you want to say, damn?
No, the type of, a lot of the things I do that. That's why they hire me, because I'm like, we don't follow the rules. Damn! Oh yeah, we have a good time. Buckhead. In fact, they're having a big one this weekend at Buckhead Fight Club. For those of you that like that, the Buckhead Fight Club and Terry Moss over there. It's a wonderful venue, and but I won't be able to attend. I have a conflict this weekend, but we have a great time. And when we had some knockouts. Was that 2 weekends ago? Yeah, 2 weekends ago. And I've done Don King, with Don King. I did some of his stuff down in Florida a long time ago. And so now it's all about having fun and making the crowd feel good.
I love to hear that one. Okay, a few more. What do you do to decompress? Because of all these things that you say and do, like, what do you do to decompress?
My best friend is waiting for me downstairs right now. It's called Massage Chair. And I love it. No, but I do. I love my and then I work out in the yard. I like to I push the lawnmower, and it's quite a bit of stuff out there. But I get out there and push the lawnmower and blow and tittle over here and patter over there. And so that's very therapeutic. Love music, so I got the jams going or NPR, and that's how I decompress.
Who will win in a versus battle? You or James Earl Jones? Battle of the Baritones.
Right. Yeah. Mr. James Earl Jones, that's the Godfather. What are you talking about? I wouldn't even listen, you'd be surprised. I mean, you hear me, but there's a lot of great voice talent out here in Atlanta, especially, but all over the country. For those, who are thinking about voiceover, have ever had those aspirations. It is an amazing career field, and being able to work from home has just been a blessing. I was doing that already anyway. Here's my, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, right here in this room right here.
Right.
In my drawers, and then send them an invoice. Drop it in the PayPal, whatever, so it's just a blessing to be able to, and diverse clients, whether that election season was off the chain. I ain't gonna lie, I did them for everybody. I don't care what party you what QAnon. Stop the steal now.
So that leads me to the last two questions. You are a trip. So I love on the Elena Dream, number 14. I forgot her first name, but DeSoto. The way
Erica DeSouza. Yeah, she went to Chicago. Erica got married. I think she's having a child. Erica was one of my favorites. She was just really cool, from Brazil.
Yes.
You used to come to the games?
I've only been to a few of them.
Okay.
But listening to you, I laugh every time, because I'm like, yo, that is some electricity right there. I'm like, does he just do it random? So the reason why I mentioned that, say Ursula, get your shift together. Pull that microphone close to you. That's next
Ursula, you better get your shift together. Ursula, black girls get no, yeah, all that. Or if you came to the games, it was all about thunder sticks. You gotta be being silly now, but yeah, see, I mean, that's what I mean. You know, having a good. I'm so glad to know that you had a good time when you came to the games. We got new ownership. You know, they let me go a couple years ago. I was there for 12 years, but I reached out to them with the new ownership. I said, hey, I may be interested if y'all interested, but they're not really interested. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, come on down to the stadium. I already told you my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Come on down to the stadium.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy.
I know, right? Exactly. Well, we're going to start wrapping it up, like literally putting a bow on it. But I really do appreciate you saying yes and coming on, because I know you're a busy individual. But it was very important for people to see someone that looks like us. You never know what people go through on their backstory. And the light on the other end of it.
Yep. And there's a great light. I hope to again pay honor to my dad, my brother, and to all those out there who are going through that. That's a great way to process it. My brother was a snazzy dresser, like I say. So girl, you need to see me at the ballroom competition. I'm bling. I got more bling than the ladies. Boom, bang, boom. And then I take it all from the seed he planted in me, taking me to Jewtown in Chicago. When I was young, and clothes and all that kind of stuff. So,
Vince, do you get out there and dance on the ballroom floor with them too?
No, I dance just like sports. I don't play at ballroom. I don't dance, but I'll be jamming in my chair. Yo, mambo. Thank you, dancers. Heat number 759 will be the cha-cha.
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go ahead and get a number 36 and get out there and dance.
It's a great place if you're interested. Academy Ballroom Atlanta here in Atlanta. We'll take you some dance lessons, and I'll be sure to say, ladies and gentlemen, there she is, Ursula. See, we'll stretch it out like that.
There you go with that.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. You are a funny guy. I'm loving it. I knew it was going to be like this. Oh, and before we get off, I just want everybody to take a look at this number and take a screenshot of it. So if you ever are around someone and they're talking a little suspect and you're concerned, take a screenshot of this picture. And it's the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They are 24 hours and it is national. That being said,
yeah.
And also check out Black Mental Matters. Very good. You have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. God bless everyone.
God bless you too, Vince. And we will be in touch.